I will never forget the day. I was driving down a highway in Johannesburg and I saw this billboard. It was designed to look like the walls that many of us have around our properties here in South Africa. And along the top of this wall was a length of razor wire, also a familiar sight here. And on the wall, these words were written. This was the message of the billboard, and it said this: "Who's putting who behind bars?" It spoke to me so strongly. Because in our quest to protect ourselves from pain and disease and death, we may become so self-protective and so pain avoidant that we end up shutting ourselves off from the things that help us to feel most fully and vibrantly alive. Or to put this in the language of the season we're in at the moment, you cannot get to resurrection by avoiding death. Hi, I'm John. I'm the founder and the facilitator of the Evo Faith Tribe, an open, progressive, online spiritual community that brings together faith and science. If you aren't finding what you need in organized religion, or if you aren't afraid to explore questions and mystery and new perspectives, then the tribe is for you. Why not join us? It's free. And if you enjoy this video, please like it, share it with anyone else who may enjoy it, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you don't miss any upcoming videos. We live in a death-avoidant culture. Not just the literal physical and mental death of our bodies and minds, but the little deaths of failure, weakness, regret, uncertainty, and change. And in our desperation to avoid these deaths, we often end up missing out on life. And that for me is a great tragedy. I'm reminded of Howard Thurman's famous words: "Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go and do it. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive." Into our death-avoidant way of being, evolution speaks a word of resurrection. It's an invitation to let go of our fear and avoidance of death and to shift our focus to love and to a healthy obsession with life, not existence, not non-death, but vibrant, wild, free, exhilarating life. In evolution, there's no roadmap, no certainty. Mutation, adaptation, genetic inheritance, these things are not clean. They're not predictable. They're not perfectly organized processes. They're messy, often painful, misdirected, and short-lived. They're experimental. They're extravagant, wasteful, and ridiculously creative. Evolution does not avoid death, big or little. It uses death in every form to move toward ever more diverse, complex, and vibrant expressions of life. This is the essential wisdom of the universal principle of evolution. And it's a wisdom that can change our lives. So what does this mean for us if we are seeking to embrace an evolutionary spirituality and a life that works in harmony with the processes of evolutionary life? Well, 3 quick thoughts that maybe you can apply in your own life. Firstly, I think evolution speaks a word of resurrection to us that calls us to practice deliberately shifting from avoiding death to a healthy obsession with life, to be consciously and intentionally trying to shift our focus from avoiding death to embracing life and becoming obsessed with being vibrantly alive. And then following on from that, the second thing I think we're called to is to look for opportunities within the little deaths that we all face in our lives, to experiment, to explore and be creative in seeking new ways to live more fully and vibrantly. And then thirdly, I think we can make it a daily practice to do what helps us to feel more alive, more creative, and more energized. To find a consistent connection with what makes us feel alive is to automatically be aligned with the greater flow of life and creativity in the world. And that fills us with a greater resilience to navigate the little deaths in our lives. So where are you struggling with the temptation to make your life all about avoiding death, avoiding pain, avoiding struggle, hardship, regret? What would it mean for you to shift to being more focused on becoming obsessed with life? How could you do that? What is one thing you could do this week to focus more on being obsessed with life? What opportunities might there be in whatever you're going through right now to experiment and to explore and to be creative in seeking new ways to be fully and vibrantly alive? What can you do each day to connect with those things that make you feel alive and to enjoy that sense of being energized because you're connected with your truest, authentic, most energized life? Whatever your answer to these questions, I really encourage you to heed Howard Thurman's words. Go and do those things, because what the world needs is people who have become as fully alive as they can be. Once again, remember to like this video if you've enjoyed it, share it with anyone who needs to hear these words, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for listening.